Yo, yo, welcome to the Rest Hold Podcast. This is episode 6, brought to you by your boys, Tanner Fred, and me, Zach Foreman. Tanner, say what's up.
What's going on, everybody? Hope you all had a good week, good little week of wrestling.
Yeah.
Jump right into the Summerslam
rumor mill,
stuff.
maybe?
The rumor mill?
Yeah. So, Big Friday, last week, AEW has Rampage.
Yeah, their new show, 1 hour, I believe it is.
1 hour.
Rampage debuted.
Comes on right after SmackDown.
Yeah.
Look, it's a good hour of TV so far. That's 1 hour, but it was a good hour.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to watch too much of it. I did more of a recap thing, personally. But from what I saw, from what you told me, it seemed like it was a real good hour of wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, to open up with Kenny and Christian and a title change.
Yeah.
Not necessarily something I saw coming.
No, I thought for sure Kenny was keeping a lot of the stuff he had for a while. But
yeah. So that's exciting. AEW is hitting the ground running with their second show. But to get to what's really important, this Friday night, the first show in Chicago.
Yeah, this will be big to see if CM Punk does. Here's the thing, too. I don't think if he isn't here Friday, that means he's not in AEW.
Right.
This also could be the predictable option, and AEW is trying to maybe go a different direction with that.
Right.
But I feel like this is the most likely landing point of CM Punk as of right now.
Yeah, so my only concern is that they may hold him because the pay-per-view is also in Chicago.
That could be it, too.
But this is the biggest week of wrestling in the year for WWE.
That's true.
So do you want to, I was reading a recap that was like, it's getting to be a WWE AEW war. And
we're on the way there.
Yeah, does AEW throw the first punch and then, have CM Punk? And then does WWE counter with Cena and Reigns? And then me personally, The Fiend returning?
We love doing that, but I think he's gone. I think Bray's gone.
I think there's going to be more than one exciting turn this weekend.
I feel like someone has to come back for WWE, especially if CM Punk debuts.
Yeah.
And I think I don't care what you say about not being competition. That's something you're keeping your eye on.
Yes.
If you're WWE, executives. If he comes back, I think one of two things has to happen. First one's Brock.
Yep.
You need to bring him back in some form, fashion. For Bobby, I personally would like. Could be for Roman. I think Bobby makes more sense.
Much more sense.
Second one's Becky Lynch.
And this may be, the sexist in me. And Becky Lynch is great. But her coming back, it doesn't make me more interested in the Raw Women's title picture. And I don't think you put her on SmackDown.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's instant energy, especially.
Oh, no. You'll get the applause, and the crowd will go crazy for Becky to be back. But I don't think that's the counterpunch to a CM Punk.
But I feel like then their only counterpunch is Brock. Or
I'm sticking with the Fiend.
Or you could also do maybe like a long tease, but let's say, jumping ahead slightly, let's say Roman wins. Mm-hmm. Does The Rock come out? Is The Rock just...
Wow.
I mean, you don't have to do, obviously, Rock and Roman next pay-per-view, but
you can carry that to
do you
Survivor
put the seeds
Series?
Down at least?
Yeah.
That, maybe this is something we see in the future?
And then,
just something?
Maybe they even do it where The Rock comes out to celebrate. And then,
could be.
And then
what
Roman,
if The Rock
Roman shuns him.
Roman
I don't need you. Don't come out here and steal my shine. This is my moment.
That's true.
You tried to step on my parade. You tried to sit at my table.
That's true.
I don't know. I hope they do something big. WWE's got, in SummerSlam, it's a lot of matches. There's 3 or 4 that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, there's not less than half the card, which really isn't good.
Right. It's going to be a long
WWE's.
card.
And I think a lot of the matches will be better than we're probably giving them credit for right now.
Right.
But when we say we're not looking forward to it, we're talking a lot more about there hasn't been the build-up's not there for
right.
me. Just to pull one out of nowhere, Bianca and Sasha, that match I'm sure will be very good.
It will be phenomenal.
I'm just not really looking forward to it. The build-up's not there, kind of just saw it. But the match itself, so that's no takeaway from, the performers. Obviously, they'll do a great job.
It'll be a great match.
You can't really make me excited for it when it kind of just fell out of the sky.
Yeah. And that's a major match. And that might be the 3rd or 4th best match on the card, depending how some other performers show up. Because we know Sasha and Bianca will deliver.
Yeah.
But if that's your 3rd or 4th, worst match or best match, I'm sorry, that's a good card, you would think.
You would think.
But the floor just drops out from under them after that.
Yeah.
Because Doudrop and Alexa, all right, we'll get into SummerSlam, but I'm just saying, they need to have something. They need a surprise.
They definitely at least need to have like a counterpunch in the back pocket.
Yeah, and look, I'm not saying CM Punk is a done deal. But
I mean, CM, technically, he could still come to WWE.
Yeah, he
Maybe
still could.
they throw the first punch and see
Yeah.
they're in Chicago, but CM Punk's over in Vegas at SummerSlam.
yeah, and I doubt that. But imagine. All I'm saying is WWE needs to have something up their sleeve. There needs to be a big surprise.
What if Ryback? No, I'm just kidding.
The big guy.
Yeah, the big guy. No.
Yeah,
He can stay home.
there we go. That'll deflate the rumor mill.
Yeah.
But anyway, talk about build-up. Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah.
John Cena and Roman Reigns.
So it's funny. The first 15 minutes, I was just like, "This is John," and
It's John
I'm getting
being John.
And Roman hit the nail right on the head. Give us something new.
Yeah.
Give us a little something, and then John kind of spins it the way he does, where it's just like, "I don't need to.
Yeah.
I just need 3 seconds."
Yeah.
And I think that's what's really what drove home the promo.
And it's classic John Cena. I'm a face. I'm a superhero in WWE. I've been successful. I've faced adversity. I've faced Brock Lesnar. All I need to do is get 3 seconds.
And I think it was interesting too because it was almost a heel promo from Cena.
Yeah.
Because it really wasn't very face like, "Oh, I'm the better man. I'm gonna
No.
beat you down and finally end this reign of terror." That wasn't what it was. That's what the first half was. But then John was just like, "I don't need that.
Yeah.
I don't need to beat you.
I'm humble.
I just need 3 seconds."
Humble Hall of Famer John Cena.
Yeah.
That's
He said, "Yeah, you'll beat the crap out of me.
Yeah.
You'll throw me all over the ring. I just need 3 seconds."
and I love that they haven't got physical. I love it.
We'll talk about a similar situation
Yeah.
later that did, and I feel like it took away.
Yeah.
I love that they've kept it completely non-contact.
And they have done, and this is like, you see it circulating online that like WWE focuses on the entertainment part of it and AEW is more of a wrestling promotion. But when you have a feud like John Cena and Roman Reigns, where they have built this feud to be must-watch TV, the entire pay-per-view of SummerSlam, the entire weekend is centered around John Cena and Roman Reigns, and they haven't thrown a single punch, a single blow.
Yep.
They have done such a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
It is, I mean, I say it almost weekly at this point, but Roman Reigns is far and away the best professional wrestler on the planet right now.
Absolutely.
This guy delivers day in and day out. And honestly, I don't care that he's not the best wrestler. He's a great wrestler. He's good enough in the ring that when he's this character, I want to see him and John Cena. That's it.
And to touch on your AEW point, something that I've always said for a while is AEW is very similar to an indie type company.
Yeah.
Where they're a wrestling company, WWE is a sports entertainment company.
Right.
WWE will give you a performance. They'll give you a show. They'll give you a spectacle. Where, AEW will do similar things, but they're going to give you good, solid wrestling matches.
Yeah, which is like, going on that, just a touch, not to, belabor the point, but I watched Wednesday night, and I was just so taken back. It's just false finish, false finish, false finish, false finish. Oh, false finish. And, like, I get it. You don't want to just end every match on the first finish or kick out every time. But, like, they do it to an extent where it's like, I don't even know when the match is going to end. And sometimes it's good. But other times it's just like, dude, how many finishers do you have to hit?
That's where I think my indie comparison comes to. Yeah. I haven't been to too many indie shows. I went to an Evolve show a while back, and they had a tag match. It was like it was a tag match, but it might have just been like a no DQ match. It's like 45 minutes of just like the first 15 minutes is like the storytelling where they're kind of like, and then they just like go for like 30 minutes of just throwing literally everything. I saw a tweet. I was just like scrolling through Twitter when this past Wednesday, and somebody said, I just saw somebody hit a top rope RKO / cutter.
Yeah, it was Sammy.
And it was like a 1.5 count.
Yeah, Sammy.
And it's like, I understand that like you can have cool moves that aren't finisher, but like there's also there's a point.
That was actually what made me think of that and the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express with the rules. The tag teams don't abide by tag rules. There is no count outs or count ins, whatever you want to call it. They don't enforce anything. And then Guevara just false finish, and he hits that cutter. He kicks out, But then he finishes the match on the next sequence. He just picks him up, finishes the match. So I just don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's, neither here nor there.
Yeah.
That's just, to get back to the point is, Roman Reigns and John Cena have built up SummerSlam. The whole weekend is around them. And I'm, extremely excited to see the first punch get thrown.
And what's really interesting about this feud, and this is kind of a WWE thing that they tend to do. Does the match have to be good? Yes. But the match doesn't matter. The end matters.
Right.
The last 3 seconds of the match is really what matters in this feud. It's, will John Cena get 17 or will Roman Reigns stay at the head of the table?
Yeah.
So, and I think that's also the comparison between like the AEW WWE style, where like I feel like WWE can avoid a little more slack by having this finish.
Yeah.
Whatever the payoff is.
Yeah.
Their payoff's a lot more important than the means to get there.
Yeah.
But I think John Cena and Roman Reigns will give you a tremendous match.
Yeah, and I'm going to sound hypocritical because I can promise you there will be a multitude of false finishes in Reigns and Cena.
But here's what's interesting, because the spear is still protected as far as I remember, correct?
Yeah, the new spear is protected.
Yeah, since he came back as the tribal chief, it's been protected. So, does John break that? I don't know.
I think
he'll hit at least 3 F5s. Not, oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
F5s, AAs. The way they protect John is kind of the way they protect every big star that loses to Roman. They just choke him out.
Yeah.
You don't tap. So? You don't get speared. You just
get choked out. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if I see John getting knocked out, though. John falling asleep.
I mean, what you talk about real heat.
Oh, yeah.
You talk about real heat.
That's very true. That'd be really interesting.
That would be real heat.
Yeah. But we'll talk about this more as we
have a
get to the
full SummerSlam preview coming.
Yeah,
but
so we'll get there when we get there. But
the rest of SmackDown, we had a title change.
Yeah, Shinsuke on top of the mountain, IC champion now for the second time of his career.
King Nakamura.
I mean, it was really bittersweet for me because I love Shinsuke. I think he's a great wrestler. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy for him that he's champion. He 100% deserves to be champion. I don't want to take anything away from him. My issue is that I don't think Apollo deserves to not be champion.
He didn't get a fair shake as champion.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of as a result of WWE's own doing, though. Mm-hmm. I think they thought they had something with Dabba-Kato or Commander Aziz, and they didn't. Mm-hmm. They didn't have anything. Mm-hmm. And Apollo was so good on his own. He was so likable, so over with the fans, and then the new character just didn't work. Yeah,
that is probably what happened, and that's a shame for Apollo because he really is I think Bleacher said this when I was reading through like their review of the of SmackDown. He's really like the unsung workhorse of WWE. He'll give you your great match and then he'll do his job. So like I feel like he doesn't get really the rub he deserves.
But if you're gonna say that, you could put him in the same category as Cesaro. And Cesaro has less solo title reigns.
Yeah, it's very true. That is as I said it, I started to think about it, like, oh, he really doesn't get the rub. He's been champ twice in the last year. It's been US and then IC champ.
Yep.
So, like, yeah, he does get his title reigns,
and
but I feel
he was on a major run before he got hurt.
That is true. He really was.
They like him, and they give him his due, but I think the character just didn't work out.
Yeah, that might be what it is. I hope he's still on TV, though. Yeah. I hope they don't take him off TV for this. I hope he really sticks around, because he's a great talent to have on the roster. So
he's another one of those guys that you get on TV. You need to get him on TV.
And that's what's crazy too. I know we always say like, oh, there's these guys, get them on TV, get them on TV. You have the time for it too.
Yeah, I mean, just look at Raw.
Like you have the time to do it. So I don't know. I hope there's more of him.
And can we just talk about how Shinsuke was king of the ring King Shinsuke for a cup of coffee, and he gets a title?
Yeah, he does. But I mean, Shinsuke got hot.
Yeah, he did.
Shinsuke got hot before he was king. Though.
Yeah, that's true.
But once they put Boogs on him, he kind of burst onto the... Right. And Pat helped them a ton by making Boogs look like he deserves to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
But just to my point is, Corbin was king of the ring for a year. He didn't sniff a title.
Yeah, and it's tough too because he's a heel.
I know.
And I know people have talked about in the past, like when you be a heel, those are kind of some of the things you have to sacrifice.
Right.
Unless you're the heel. Mm-hmm. So like, that does... It is a little tough
not everybody's Roman.
Corbin. Not everyone's Roman. Not everyone's Seth. Lashley, I wouldn't even call Lashley a heel, but I guess he is. But not everyone's Seth. Not everyone's Roman. Like not everyone's. Yeah. Like that's just not how it's going to be. And there's unfortunately, there's just not enough titles to go around sometimes.
Yeah, and then we got, Edge and Seth that you were talking about. That was a great promo again.
I thought Seth killed it. I was crying myself laughing watching that promo video of Seth. Just
his political act.
So great. It does all these, but Seth is just so much better at all these things.
Yeah.
And it's funny too because the parallels like weren't that forced.
No,
like they were there.
They're actually extremely close in career trajectory.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like, God willing, Seth doesn't get hurt so that he can stay a surefire like Hall of Famer. But
I mean, I think he's in right now. He retires tomorrow.
He absolutely is. But there's so much more for Seth to do. But if you follow the career, like, they were both successful tag wrestlers, both kind of like the long hair bad boy, like both become a great heel champion. Like, they have their face moments and
the cash-ins,
and then here we are.
All that stuff.
They're like a ton of resemblances.
Parallels,
It's just gonna be fun too because if we could of course if you could have your wish it, but if these two guys would have faced off in their prime,
I think we had mentioned this a couple weeks ago. It might be the best match of all time.
It really would be. It would be insane. But even now, I think
still be tremendous.
Edge has been off, not off TV, but out of the ring, hasn't been working that much. Hopefully is well rested and ready to go because Seth is going to come out of the gates fired up.
I hope no contact for them tomorrow.
I
think you do Edge in the ring talk with Seth like a via satellite kind of thing and just keep them apart from each other.
Yep.
But I think we're looking for a good match coming up here.
Yeah, for sure. Let's just wrap up real quick. Sasha Bianca.
This didn't do it for me.
I don't get why you include Zelina and Carmella.
It's funny because Bleacher gave this an A.
Yeah, but I mean Bleacher will give any women's segment an A.
That's just a good point. It just didn't do it for me. It didn't really make sense to have Bianca and Zelina like you had mentioned. Yeah. I don't know why they were there. Is Sasha forming a faction?
Yeah.
If so, I need more information about this tomorrow.
To my I'm so confused because last week, well, I guess 2 weeks at this point, she beat them up. She beat up Carmella and Zelina.
Yeah.
And then just because she turned on Bianca doesn't mean you guys are friends. Yeah. Like, enemy of my enemy doesn't count when you beat me up first.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And I understand, like, enemy of my enemy is my friend, but, like, then you're going to have to just want what Sasha has. Like, it's not like you're just, like, beating her up because you have this specific...
It's not like you were in Sasha's stable to begin with.
And it's also, like, the issue isn't with Bianca. The issue is you want the belt.
Right.
So when Sasha gets the belt, what happens? Now you team up with Bianca to beat up Sasha?
Or do you still just hate Bianca
for
no reason?
That's where it was a little unclear. Unless they're forming a stable. But if so, one, really bad way to do it.
Terrible way to do it.
Two, like, I need more information about this on Friday. Tomorrow. So, But
so we'll see what happens. There's a payoff episode. The go home show is tomorrow night, so hopefully this gets resolved on their own.
Yeah.
Monday Night Raw. It is the go home show.
Raw was pretty good.
I like Randy. I like Matt Riddle. I think that they're gonna have a nice run. I think they become champions.
Here's to my point. I said Raw was pretty good.
Yeah.
But this is your take-home show of SummerSlam.
Yeah.
You can't just be pretty good.
Yeah.
You need to be better than pretty good. You need to give me a reason to tune in to the Raw matches and not go get pizza during those matches.
Oh, boy.
So,
yeah. It's like the women's feud has beyond fizzled out.
Mm-hmm.
It is beyond done. Whoever wins, good. End this three-way feud and move on. Get a new competitor out there. I don't care who it is. Move on.
I think that's why Becky might help a little bit.
Yeah.
Becky and Charlotte would be a lot of fun.
I guess that would get me interested. I don't know. I guess I retract what I say earlier. If they set up Becky and Charlotte, that would be a good counterpunch.
Yeah.
But just in general, they need to get that feud out of here.
Yeah,
and the thing is, I don't even know where you put that on the card.
I have no idea.
Because it's a 10-match card, and you have 2 women's matches. Well, 3 women's matches, but 2 women's title matches, and this is by far the worst.
In terms of how
levels
the
of
match
interest, like build up.
I don't know.
Like,
but the thing is, the SmackDown one didn't have a build up.
And my level of interest is still way higher.
All right.
I know they're gonna deliver. I don't know.
That's fair. That is fair. Yeah,
deliver.
that's true. I think there's a lot more security in the other one. That it'll be a good match. This one, I mean, I'd like to think. I mean, they're all pretty talented.
Charlotte is the greatest of all time.
Sure. Yes.
Rhea is up and coming.
And Nikki
does
has
her
her
job.
positives.
The three of them together, I do not care about. I've seen Charlotte and Rhea. They don't do it for me. I've seen Charlotte and Nikki more times than I wanted to in the last month. That's not doing it for me. I've seen Rhea and Charlotte, like I said. I've seen Rhea and Nikki. And every week, having the three of them, somebody else end on top. I know, that's classic WWE. You do the rotation. Who's going to win? Whoever ends up on top last, whatever. Doesn't matter. This does nothing for me.
That's true.
And they did nothing to build it up better for me either. Just having Rhea on top at the end does nothing for me.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It was literally just round robin. It was Charlotte, Nikki, Charlotte, Rhea. Like,
yeah. No. And, I mean, this is a problem that we talk about a couple of times on here. You can't have your champion look that weak going into your pay-per-view. I don't care who it is.
Yep.
Unless the gimmick is that, like when The Miz was champion. Like, that would be okay because that's the gimmick.
Yeah.
But Nikki's gimmick isn't that she sucks. Like, that's not her gimmick.
No, but, like, her gimmick kind of is. Because I'm almost as good as you. You're champion.
Yeah.
You're not almost champion. You are champion.
And that's another thing I saw. I think it's another Bleacher thing. So I apologize for just stealing all of Bleacher's content. But what they said was that, like, you know what? Like, at some point, superheroes do beat people up. Or say, I'm going to beat you up. That's kind of part of the job.
You draw a line.
Yeah, like, while it's, like, cool that, like, I think she's getting herself over. She's doing a pretty good job. But at some point, like, you do have to win to be taken seriously.
And she does not win.
That's true.
I don't know.
I don't know if they're going to do that.
I'm over it. Get it. Just, honestly, put it on match number 2. Just get it match number 2, the come down spot, and just get it out.
There's worse matches.
I mean,
there's worse matches.
But that isn't going on second, which brings us to Alexa Bliss and Doudrop.
Were they even on Raw?
They were on Raw. They did the backstage thing again with Lily.
I didn't have a chance to watch anything live this week, so I watched it on Hulu. That was cut from Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
The women's tag with Nia Jax, Charlotte, that was cut from Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
Karrion Kross was cut from Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one, Mace and Mansoor were cut from Hulu.
I guess they know where the ratings go.
And then something on NXT was cut too. I don't remember what it was, but something on NXT was cut from Hulu as well. But I was like, I mean,
what are you doing?
Like, just give me the full 2 hours. Like, it's not that long. Like, it's 2 hours without commercials. Like, you can't give me 2 hours?
I don't think it is. I think it's
all right, even less.
Like an hour and 45.
All right, let's say hour 45 without commercials. Like, you could give me an hour 45. You didn't have to cut it all.
I mean, you really didn't miss anything, though.
No, but, like, I would just go and I'd watch it on, like, YouTube and, like, read back what happened. But, I don't know. I feel like if I'm tuning in, I'd like to see the whole episode, personally.
What is the payoff here?
Doudrop and, Eva and Alexa?
Yeah, Doudrop and...
I have literally no idea.
I don't know what the payoff is.
I don't know how this happened, whose idea this was, why this is happening. First of all, this match will not end in any form of a wrestling match.
No, probably
This will not end pin, this will not end submission. This will end in a DQ, a countout, or, like, Alexa sends Eva to the Shadow Realm to hang out with, like...
to hell forever. I don't know. In the Firefly Funhouse.
It's going to be really weird.
Back.
No. We got to stop this. No. We'll talk about that next week, but it doesn't happen, and I can say how it should have ended.
Yeah.
Anyway. I don't know what this is. It's weird. I don't really care about it. I mean, I like Bliss as a wrestler. This feud is just not it.
I like Bliss as a wrestler, too, which is why I'm so fed up with this. Because there is no payoff.
Yeah.
And, I mean, look. They could blow our minds. They could have something crazy lined up. But I doubt it.
Yeah.
Because they know the fans hate this. They know nobody's taking to it. If they had a payoff, they would get to it.
Yeah.
And they're just not getting to it.
Also, like...
So...
This is on SummerSlam compared to other stuff?
You don't have the Dirty Dogs and the Street Profits on SummerSlam.
You don't have Corbin. You don't have Big E. New Day. All these teams just are not on SummerSlam.
You could have done the IC change at SummerSlam.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I don't know why it wasn't.
I know you want people to watch SmackDown, so, like, it's nice to have a title change. And if you're going to do it, you're obviously not changing Roman.
Mm-hmm.
But come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is on the card.
Yeah, I don't know. Unless they have something planned, which
they
don't.
They do not.
But, you know, we can hold on to hopes here.
I mean, then we get...
let's
just
move on because we'll talk about this all day.
It's just miserable. It's miserable. We got Drew and Jinder coming up. Drew has just ran through that whole stable already 3 times. Every week he's just always on top, always on
Here's
top.
my problem with this feud. And it's not the feud.
No, because it'll be good.
It's what the feud is centered around.
Yeah, the sword.
Do
the
we
fight.
think that he's going to, like, stab him? Like, what do they expect us to believe is going to happen with this sword?
Yeah, Drew's
like, do we think
him.
Drew's going to actually kill him? Like, that's the thing that, like, I don't get. Like, what is the sword at ringside is going to do for me? It's going to
behead him.
Here's what's going to happen. I can tell you right now. Ginger's going to be in a point where he's going to win. Something happened where Drew's going to get the sword. Ginger's going to get scared. Claymore, over.
I hope that doesn't happen.
It's exactly
I hope
what's
the
gonna
sword
happen.
is not involved at all.
No, it is, because it was part of the stipulation for the match on Monday. It was, if Drew loses, no sword. If Drew wins, no Shanky and Veer. So the sword will definitely play a role. A really stupid role. It'll take away from both competitors, because they're both... I'm not the biggest Ginger guy, but he's too good for this.
You have 2 world champions.
2 former world champions.
With a legitimate story to not like each other, to want to wrestle each other.
And you made this about a sword and a motorcycle.
It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. And it's going to be a squash. Drew's going to win. He's going to win quick. It's just to get the fans to cheer for Drew. And that's fine. But, like, just give me a story.
If you just taken, like, an elevated version of that little tiny Heath Slater story they did during, like, COVID, that's money. Yep. That's perfect. It's just you left me behind. You moved on. Yep. 3B died, and you just didn't care.
And then you did Heath in like that, and there you go. Boom. Yeah. Problem solved. I don't know. But what's the last match from Raw that gets brought up? Sheamus and Priest. That's coming on to.
I thought they did all right. I thought their little segment was pretty good. Miz and whatever this Priest thing needs to die. I think on Monday. That needs to be the last time we ever see it.
I think it's over. I think they're going to. Little face turn and split up Miz and Morrison.
You think they're pushing Johnny
Morrison,
Moist?
Yeah.
America's Moist Wanted.
Yeah, Drip God, Johnny Drip. I think he's gonna
go a little face
turn, little solo run.
You think? I don't know.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Yeah, they did kind of hint at that a little bit.
And let it happen. I like Miz and Morrison, but I'm over it. Neither of them are getting anything out of this.
Yeah, that's true. It's been too long now.
It keeps them on TV. Their comedy gimmick was a comedy gimmick. It honestly should have ended after Mania, but
that's true.
Here we are. So just end that. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think.
What are the chances? Oh, sorry. No, go ahead. Say what
I was gonna say Priest and Sheamus will be a fun match.
Yeah.
I liked the use of the brogue kick out of Priest. I thought there was a nice little like jab at Sheamus. But yeah, like I mean. There wasn't a whole lot of build. It's been like 2-3 weeks of build because he saved what's his name, Humberto.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
What do you think the chances of Miz and Morrison coming out to interfere are?
Very low. Almost zero.
I hope so.
It seemed like they're moving on in a different direction. I think Miz and Morrison will do something at SummerSlam, like they had mentioned in the little promo afterwards. But I don't think that will have anything to do with the U.S. title match at all.
Hope not. I mean, if it is, maybe we get a little Ricochet on TV at least. Maybe Ricochet comes out.
Maybe. I don't know.
I hope it doesn't happen.
Getting to the big match. Let's talk about RK Bro real quick, and then we'll move on. I think they win.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it now. We'll talk about it again later. But like,
I think they win.
I thought they did this well, where it was like Randy just didn't hand it to him. Riddle came out, earned it. Yeah. Almost looks great.
So like, I kind of get it both ways. Where it's like, well, Randy, he already did this before he got hurt or took vacation or whatever. You made him do it again.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Is it short-term memory? Like,
I think it's just Randy.
Yeah, I get it works because it's Randy, but like, it's almost like who are they? Like, how are they booking the show? Like, am I supposed to forget these things? Is it supposed to be like for short-term memory? Like, I just don't know.
Well, Randy did kind of touch on that. There's like, just because I respected you before doesn't mean I still respect you.
Right. I get
that's
it.
That's a good
it's
little callback, but
it's just a weird angle, I guess.
A little weird.
Like, he could have just been like, oh, I wanted to come back and go solo, but like, here you are still waiting for me. I don't know. I'm not gonna rewrite it. It's just sometimes Raw just leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah. We'll talk about the big one when we talk about the predictions, because I have a little bit I want to rant about for that.
Yeah.
So we'll just move on to NXT quickly.
Yeah, and then we'll get into SummerSlam.
NXT Notables. I don't know what was good with Kushida. Apparently he wasn't medically cleared or whatever that was.
I'm interested to see
Hopefully he's okay. I think Ilya and Roddy had a great match. Terrible idea.
It's just a lose-lose, man.
Terrible idea, because it was two guys that needed to win.
Yeah.
I mean, Bivens saved it a little bit in a little promo by like, oh, he's not 205, like he's a heavyweight. Maybe, sure, whatever. But I mean,
he weighs 190.
Yeah,
right?
he's probably not 205. It was a decent save, but like, I feel like that's a bad choice.
The thing is, it was a bad decision last week to make Dragunov lose to Pete Dunne. It was a worse choice this week to have him come out and answer the call for Roddy. And I know why they're doing it. It's because people over here haven't seen Dragunov wrestle. So you showcase him a little bit, get people excited for Walter Dragunov 2, which, if you wanted to get yourself hyped for that, just watch the first one. Because it's a phenomenal match. It was match of the year last year. But I get it. I just wish it wasn't Roddy. If if he came out to answer the call, Malcolm should have like tagged in the other guy, like had the coach lose.
Yeah,
you know? I don't know.
Something else. And I think that's kind of where losing Tyler Rust hurts.
Yeah, because that could have been exactly like, no,
Roddy,
Roddy,
like,
no,
hold on a second. Yeah, like, wait a minute.
This.
I didn't sign up for this. Yeah. And then there you go.
Yeah. But it's really a great wrestling match. Like, they both can deliver, so not even concerned about them. But, like, it's just the result.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really hurt anything with Roddy and Kushida. It's just, I don't know. It didn't make a whole lot of sense for me.
No, because it doesn't make me think any more or less likely that Roddy can beat Kushida, because I do know Dragunov is wrestling Walter.
Yes.
So, like, I get that, and that goes to, like, Bivens' point, is, like, he's fighting for the heavyweight title. But Roddy was wrestling Adam Cole and stuff, so, like, you know, Adam Cole was NXT champion.
That's true. So, I don't know.
Whatever.
Just a little interesting point.
Go ahead.
The tag belts, that match was never about the tag belts.
Never.
That was about Walter and Ilya.
And it's really a shame, too, because MSK is good.
Yeah, they are.
They can wrestle, and Imperium is the best tag team at NXT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
them and grizzled young veterans. But they were never, the titles were never in doubt.
No.
They were never going to change.
No. And
so I don't know what, like,
it was literally just to get Walter on TV to have them with Imperium. And I like that, you know, he's with Imperium again.
Yeah.
So, like, that'll be good long term. But
yeah, I'm really interested to see the payoff here, because Imperium stays here. They don't go to NXT.
No, they don't go back.
But if Walter wins, he's going to go back again.
Yeah.
But if he loses,
I think he sticks around.
Yeah, and that would be, I mean, you get Pete Dunne, Ridge Holland, and Oney Lorcan versus them. That would be exciting.
Maybe, yeah.
You know, don't book into the future too much, because there's a chance Walter just wins and goes back.
That's true. He could just win.
I mean, 700 and something days already. So.
Yeah, so I don't know. But, I mean, it was a nice little, just like, to have it there.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
We get the Cross and Joe face-off.
Yeah. Let's talk about Index super quick.
Oh.
And then we'll move on to that, because I do have some issues with that. I mean, WWE has never been one to really just, like, take their time with stuff like this.
They're engaged.
Yeah, I thought it was so stupid.
They're engaged.
I mean, maybe that's just me.
It's funny, but, like, they're engaged. What the funniest part of that match was when Robert Stone did a flying crossbody to the floor.
That was hilarious.
Was never even in question. Wasn't even close to Loomis. I haven't had such a good, like, hearty laugh at a wrestling scene in a long time.
And it wasn't just that. It was the whole sequence. It was, he bursts off the ropes. You think he's going to do a suicide dive. Stops. Jumps over the crossbody. Floor.
Yeah. It was...
And the camera work was great on that. Because it was just on him. And then as soon as he jumps, it just cut to the floor.
Yep.
And you just see him splat.
Yeah. They crushed that. Robert Stone, man, that's good.
I feel like that little Frankie Monet brand is just getting buried.
I mean, what are you going to do?
I don't know.
They're okay. They don't need to win.
But I feel like you were building her up a little bit, and now she's doing this. But like, it doesn't really affect her in the same way.
But they're wrestling Loomis and Indy, who are big on NXT.
True. That's true.
And who else are they going to wrestle?
Yeah, no, there's really no one there.
And you talk about who can't lose. It's Indy and Dexter.
No, that's fair.
So
that's fair. And you have to have them on TV in some capacity.
And you get Robert Stone to lose or whatever it was, so it's not even a big deal.
All right, that's true. You had the little Dakota and Raquel segment. It did what it did.
The promo did nothing.
No.
So where I said, like, the way they should have done it was all promo, maybe they knew better. Because that promo did nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
And to end the promo with you really went there? After you kicked her in the face?
Yeah, she called you a sidekick. Like, who cares?
It's a terrible insult, first of all. But then for you to be insulted by that?
That insulted, too.
Yeah, after you kicked her in the face?
Beside yourself.
Are you going there right now?
Like, come on.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't love that.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, no.
I could not believe that. That was awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they're gonna deliver. It'll be a good.
Yeah, they'll
match,
have a good match.
But the promo was awful.
Yeah, I didn't love it.
Just bad.
I didn't love it.
Talking about bad, the way the $1 million title has been handled.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah,
I'm over it. I need LA Knight to lose so this ends.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
I mean, it was good. It had its ups, it had some downs.
Mostly downs.
It had a lot of potential. They didn't run with it. But, I mean...
Do we think LA Knight loses and maybe see you later? Goes main roster bound?
I don't know. It's interesting, too, because I don't really know when the draft is. Or if they'll even draft from NXT this time.
It's October now.
So who knows?
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah. All right, and then right to the big guys, the main event.
I wish they didn't fight.
Yeah.
Like, as far as, like, WWE brawls go, it was a good brawl.
Yes.
But I just felt like having them be no contact would have been better for the feud.
So this goes how we said about Roman and Cena, how they made the feud matter so much. And Cross was kind of doing that with Joe. He was being, like, the sneaky, like, conniving champion where I'm out here, but you can't touch me. You can't see. You'll never get your hands on me. And then just to come out, and I know you don't want to make Cross look like a coward, but, like, that wasn't the vibe he was giving off anyway. They were just fighting. Like, he was just, I'm better than you. Don't touch me. I'm going to kill you at TakeOver. They should have left them apart. And that goes, just to double back real quick, Bobby Lashley and Goldberg should have been left apart. And we're going to talk about that once we get to SummerSlam in a second. But the success they had with Cena and Reigns, and I know those are two guys gifted on the mic, but you have Cross and Joe are not slouches on the mic. In fact, I think that's both of what they're better at.
Absolutely.
So you could have just had them go and just an exchange of blows. Even when Cross came out with the security team, you could have ended it right there. Like, you could have just had him in his face, quote unquote, but like as close as you can get without really touching each other, and then just barking at him. And then that would have done enough to build the feud. But I mean, they just can't help themselves. They want the big guys to fight on
TV. The thing is, though, like, I felt this was... I wanted them to not fight for very different reasons than I wanted Cena and Roman to not fight. With Roman and Cena, it was a lot more like, they don't need to. It was a lot more of like a verbal battle. Anyway, it's more about not that I'm going to beat you. It's more about the implications of what happens if one of us wins. So, like, the physical contact wasn't the focus of the story.
Right.
Where the focus of this story is these two guys want to kill each other.
They want to rip each other's heads off.
And I feel like the longer you kind of keep the dog on the chain there, the better that first contact really is. So if you had kept them on the chain just for 4 more days, whatever it is, once they go at each other, that explosion is going to be way more impactful.
And Joe and Cross, I could be wrong, but I don't see them wrestling for more than 12 minutes, 15 minutes. Like, they're going to be physical.
I think 15 to 20 is probably a fair bet.
So physical, aggressive match. You could tell the story of them hating each other and wanting to rip each other's heads off so well if you would have just held out. And
absolutely.
I'm sure the match will be great. I'm sure it'll have good payoff or whatever. But I just think that if you would have held them back a little bit longer, like you said, that hungry dog, that angry dog on the leash, you let him off, and then like all hell breaks loose.
I don't think this will necessarily take away from the match in any way, but I think you definitely could have added to it if you had done something like this. But
yeah, I mean, the build-up has been lacking for a lot of things in WWE lately.
Yeah, that is a big issue they have right now.
Like, the build-up for Cross and Joe isn't lacking
No, it's
by
been pretty
any means,
good, actually.
But when you have something good, like, just keep it going.
Yep, just keep it going.
Yeah.
All right. Let's jump into the predictions here. You want to start with TakeOver, just because I feel like it might be a little bit
we'll go into NXT because it's only 5 matches. But just as a little tidbit, as an aside, we both did our predictions separate. Came down here to prepare for the podcast. We are 15 for 15 on predictions. We went same predictions down the line.
This wasn't planned. This just we happened to sit next to each other today and be like, oh, we have this same stuff for every match. So
So
I guess we'll just do one.
Yeah, we'll just go through
and we'll talk about it quickly.
And maybe it's us too surface level looking at WWE thinking everything's so predictable, or maybe WWE.
There's some of these I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So
let's see it. Let's go.
TakeOver. $1 million title. We have Grimes.
Yeah, Cameron Grimes. I think we got to end the feud. I don't think the feud ends. properly if LA Knight wins, because then you have the $1 Million Man as a butler.
And then you have another match.
At least one.
Yeah.
At least one other match. And I think we just move on.
Yeah.
And Cameron Grimes, he has the stuff to be good.
Yeah.
This belt means nothing.
This would be his first belt, too.
Yeah.
It'd be nice just
to
it
get
doesn't
him
mean
one.
anything, but
It means nothing.
it'll be nice just to have him have a belt.
And just to touch a little bit on what I said before, I kind of think LA Knight's days in NXT are numbered. So
yeah, we'll see. I mean, it depends on the drafts and all that other stuff going on in the company. So
he just gives off main roster vibes.
He does. Number 2, women's title match: Raquel and Dakota.
Yeah, so we both have Raquel.
Yeah.
I don't think you can take the belt off her on her first real title defense. The only thing I could see happening is that they need another big woman on the main roster, so you get the belt off her.
That was my only thought initially. Was like, oh yeah, I think Dakota's gonna win. They're gonna pull Raquel up, but I don't know. They don't really do that often.
And they have women on the main roster being underutilized. You have Toni Storm, who got debuted and hasn't done anything since. You have Naomi still just sitting there doing nothing. Where we talked about it at length about Becky Lynch coming back. So you don't necessarily need to bring up Raquel right now. My only concern, again, is if she wins and beats Dakota clean, what is the next
That was what I was going to say, is there's not a whole lot down there either for her.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But yeah, I think she keeps her belt.
Yeah. Cool.
Third, Walter and Dragunov.
Oh, boy. I picked Ilya. We picked Ilya.
Yeah.
But it's not an easy pick.
This was probably the hardest one for me on this card.
Yeah.
Was Ilya, just because Walters doesn't lose.
That's
kind of his thing. Is that he wins.
Yeah, and I only picked Ilya, and it's probably, me looking too much into WWE because of the after-match implications. I think that Ilya goes back to NXT UK. You get him as champion over there, give him a decent run. I think you keep Walter around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know Walter has said that he doesn't want to stay around previously. Like, I don't know if that mindset has changed.
Yeah.
There are a lot of good guys here for him to feud with. I mean, could you imagine the physicality of a Walter and Samoa Joe, Walter and Karrion Kross? Like, it would be great. So my selfish reasons, I want Walter to lose to stick around. This one would probably be one that we're most likely wrong on.
I could definitely see Walter winning. I think this one's a pretty 50-50. For me, it was just, I think it's time. There's not a whole lot left for him over in UK. He's here. Imperium's here. Yeah. It's a good time to maybe move on. Try some new things over here.
Walter's running through that roster twice.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Fourth, and we'll talk about why this is fourth and not fifth in a second. Kross versus Joe.
Samoa Joe.
Yeah, we got Joe here.
The story kind of tells itself.
He's already on Raw.
Yeah.
This is kind of just pretty surface level. He's already on Raw.
And maybe that's us looking like, again, too surface level. Maybe it's WWE being too predictable.
But I feel like they did this already with Kevin Owens.
Yeah, he's on Raw.
He's on Raw already.
I hope that means when he goes to Raw full time, he gets his entrance, he gets his whole shtick back together. But honestly, I don't see the problem with putting the belt on Joe.
Not at all.
They've already laid the groundwork for 4 or 5 feuds with him.
Yeah, so I definitely think there's stuff for Joe to do down here.
Yeah.
Kross is kind of running out of things to do down here, to be honest.
He has literally demolished everybody.
Pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
Except for, some other people.
No, I mean,
he's pretty much everyone.
He went through Johnny Ciampa,
Cole, Finn, O'Reilly.
Yeah, and Finn.
Santos.
Santos would be great.
He went through Santos.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Remember?
He already did that.
He
already did that.
Oh, my gosh. I can't believe that.
There's really not a lot left. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Wow.
Like Kushida, Roddy.
You're not going to have either of them fight him.
There's not a whole lot left after that.
No.
So, maybe Theory.
Maybe Odyssey Jones.
Maybe. Maybe.
Ooh, boy.
We're going to talk about that.
Carmelo
Hayes and Odyssey will have a fun match.
They're going to be good. That's for sure. That should have been on Takeover.
That should have been on Takeover. And then 5. I was reading online that this is the main event.
I mean, it's a 2 out of 3 falls. Your guy of NXT, his sayonara to NXT.
I think this is the main event. Cole and O'Reilly.
NXT is giving Adam Cole his flowers and sending him to the main roster.
I hope that's what's happening. I pray this. We've said it so many times already. That's what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
This has got to be the one where they do it. I've got O'Reilly 2-1.
Unfortunately, I think that's the only way that
I've got
you keep
Cole, O'Reilly.
Yeah, I think it's the only way you keep NXT strong, and that's to make the guy fighting Cole in his last match beat Cole.
Be the man to beat the man.
Yeah, and I don't like it. I am not an O'Reilly fan. I've said it every episode so far. But I understand the way the business works. You could either say goodbye to Cole and bury O'Reilly on the way out, or say goodbye to Cole, let Cole put on a phenomenal match, which he will, and then let Cole put his boy over, and I'm sure that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's what I see happening too. So that's it for Takeover.
Definitely let us know your thoughts. Interact with us on Twitter.
The reason
Instagram.
I had Dakota originally, switched to Raquel for a couple of reasons. The first one being, I don't think every single title changes hands. Because if Dakota wins and our predictions come true, every single title changes hands. Yeah, that's a lot.
That would be the one that changes. Well, that and Walter.
Yeah.
Either one of those. Those go either way.
Yeah, but the rest...
and trust us, we're not 100% on these things. I was damn close at Money in the Bank, but we're not always 100% on these things.
No.
It could be that Cross wins. We could be totally wrong. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of them where I hope I'm wrong. It'd be cool to be wrong.
Like Cole.
Cole would be cool.
That's actually the only one I care about.
If Cross wins, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be
I'd be okay with that. Yeah. All right, so moving on to SummerSlam. 10 matches.
The stacked card.
It's gonna be a long day of wrestling.
I'm thinking they're throwing 2 matches on the pre-show.
You think?
They gotta.
Do you think it goes 6 to 10?
The only thing is, I don't know what the second match on the pre-card would be. The pre-show, because you're not.
I can tell you right now.
Go ahead.
It's Bliss.
And Priest?
And no, and Usos.
No.
100%.
Yeah, I guess
100%.
the tag. They love putting the tag on.
Yeah.
So I guess
let's start with Bliss.
Yeah.
I have Bliss by some form of disqualification, some form of non-pin or submission finish.
I have Bliss by Who Cares.
Okay.
I have Who Cares written down.
Okay.
It does not matter to me what happens, and the character, but I guess my only concern is when she wins, the character's going nowhere. They're going to keep doing this.
Yeah, I think, unless Bray comes back. No, okay, all right.
When Bray comes back.
AJ and Omos versus RK Bro.
Title change.
Number 1.
Sound the alarm.
Title change number 1.
RK Bro. They're going to do it. The story's there for it. AJ and Omos don't need it anymore. They're established as a tag team. Mm-hmm. Omos is doing great things. The guy, he's going to be doing singles competition for a little bit, I think.
Pretty soon.
Yeah, so
I can see them being together but separate.
Yeah, still together. Yeah, exactly. Together but separate, right.
So
coming out together, a singles match.
Yep.
Especially because they've been doing that the last 3 weeks anyway.
Yeah, they pretty much have. So I got RK Bro as well. Let that story run for a little bit. Get the descent. Give us a title match, not a title match, but give us a singles match between the two of them.
I cannot wait, and this is just so far in the future booking for a title match, like a world title match of Randy versus Riddle.
Oh, that'd be great.
They would tear the house down.
That'd be great. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So really
first we got to break up the tag team.
Yeah, we got a while to go for that, but
that's future.
That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
Drew and Jinder. It's Drew.
It's true.
Yeah, there's really not a whole lot to say.
It should have been a Punjabi prison.
Yeah.
I'm being so serious. They should have done that. It's SummerSlam in Vegas. It's the biggest show of the year because WrestleMania was a half a show.
Yeah.
Only half fans. And it was rained out. You should have done it.
Yeah.
And Drew would have loved it. The physicality that guy brings to the ring. Like, you should have just done it.
Yeah.
And, you only say that because it's Jinder. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
just like they only said it because it was the Great Khali.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like Sergeant Slaughter and Bam Bam Bigelow having Punjabi prison matches. Yeah. That doesn't really work.
It should have done it. They could have brought that out. That would have been awesome. Another attraction for SummerSlam. I'm excited for the match because I know both those guys could deliver.
Yeah.
Just kind of what we touched on earlier. It's going to be a sloppy ending.
Yep, it will.
Yeah.
So, Sheamus and Priest for the United States title.
Oh, Drew, by the way.
Oh,
in case we didn't make it clear enough.
I believe we did, but Drew. Yeah. McIntyre, not anyone else.
Yeah, Drew. Sheamus and Priest. We have a title change alert. Sound the alarm again.
Title change. Title change number 2.
Number 2. Number 5 of the weekend.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Now that you look at it.
That is a lot, actually.
Oh, crap. All right, maybe revisit.
But we're going into the second half of the year. That's
true.
big.
Yeah.
And the draft is coming. Okay.
Yep.
And 6 of the week, actually. Like, if we count the Intercontinental. Wow.
6
a lot of titles.
Yes, there's a lot of titles.
Anyway, we got Priest.
Yeah, I got Priest as well. This is probably the one I'm least sure of.
Yeah, this can go either way.
This is the one I'm most 50-50 on. Let's say not least sure of. The most 50-50 on. Just because no one's really gotten the upper hand.
On Sheamus?
It's kind of been like on either.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of just been like a one-upsmanship.
Yeah.
More than like I beat you up.
So kind of like how we talked about how Roman and Cena haven't gotten physical. These two have been physical, but like against other people. They're just like, look at me go. And then he's like, no, look at me go.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It makes for good TV. Raw gets 2 guys on TV weekly, you know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because what are you going to do with Sheamus?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Bobby?
Maybe. Right, and that's not like you shouldn't book
Goldberg.
because what are you going to do with this guy? That's not how you should make decisions. But Sheamus was a star of the Thunderdome era.
Yes, he was.
And now that fans come back, you're going to take the title right off him?
I mean, they did it to Apollo.
Well, of course they did, but you wouldn't hardly classify Apollo as good as Sheamus.
No, but I feel like he was doing great in the Thunderdome with the Hurt Business and then moving to SmackDown with his thing.
You almost forget about that.
He had a great feud with Big E.
Yeah.
Like, he was doing really good stuff in the Thunderdome.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
yeah, I guess they don't really care about that. They gave him a belt.
he was almost in, like, the bloodline. You
Yeah.
remember that? Him and Roman were chatting it up.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Priest wins, but I have a little asterisk there because I'm unsure. Could be Sheamus.
Our first title defense of SummerSlam.
Woo!
The Usos remain SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
Yes. There's just no reason to put it back on the Mysterios.
There's also a lot of seeds of dissent within the Mysterio family.
The Mysterios are breaking up. They
Yes,
are
they are.
one bad match away from breaking up. I think they can get that. Just thinking about it. They're going to drag that feud to be like a Mania match.
Oh, that will 100%
Dominic versus Rey is
be
gonna
on
be on
Mania in
Mania.
some form.
Yeah, they're going to drag that out. So, don't be shocked if they lose and then are off TV for a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that happening, and then
Or
although that would
they just go on a spiral of losing, like lose to the Dirty Dogs, lose to the Street Profits, lose
true.
to
That
the
is very
Alpha
true as well.
Academy.
Yep.
So
I don't know. We'll see what happens with that.
I can't believe I even said that.
Maybe the best wrestling match on the card, Rollins and Edge.
Trip God, Seth
I've got the
Rollins.
Architect as well.
The Friday Night Father,
Yeah,
the Monday Night Messiah.
the savior of SmackDown.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't imagine Edge going over.
Which is such a shame for Edge too.
I don't think it is.
You came back and you haven't won a single feud.
Yeah, but you were in the main event feud for
That's true.
3 months.
That's true.
You came back. We're in it again.
Yeah, that's
Then
a fair point.
now you're wrestling the best wrestler on the roster.
Yeah, no, all right, that's fair. Yeah, screw
And-
Edge.
No, screw Edge. Screw him. No, but you come back, and the thing is, if he loses to Seth, nobody's going to think anything of it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you lost to Seth.
You can just put Edge right back in against whoever else, and it's like, Edge can win this one.
Yeah, that's
Doesn't
true.
matter. Yeah. But Seth, this is big for Seth.
Yeah,
like
I think it
he
really
hasn't had a real legitimate feud
that he
in a
won.
decent amount of time. Yeah. So you get him to beat Edge, then guess who's sitting right there waiting for him? Finn Balor.
Maybe, yeah.
Roman
there you go.
Reigns.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins is now back in the main event picture after beating Edge.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you're not going to have somebody come out for Roman Cena, which, we're of differing opinions here, you got to have somebody like Seth ready to go.
Yes, I agree. If there's no follow-up,
Yeah.
someone like Seth needs to be ready.
And the thing is, if Edge wins, there is no follow-up. You're not going to go Edge Roman again. You're just not going to do it.
That's fair.
So I think Seth
You go Edge
wins.
Cena. They would do it. They would. They would do it in a heartbeat.
Wow, so that's me banking on Roman winning and Seth. Yeah, that's true. They would go Edge Cena in a second.
Yeah, they would. So
Yeah,
that's
that
a
would sell
possibility
tickets.
as well. All right, let's move on a little bit.
Yeah, wow.
Second title defense of SummerSlam.
I just want to say one more thing. That is going to be a phenomenal match. I know
This one?
Yeah, no. Edge and Seth. I know we touched on it
amazing.
a little
It's gonna
bit.
be amazing.
It's going to be a phenomenal
Yeah.
match. Good luck to whoever follows that one up.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Bianca and Sasha Banks. We got Bianca.
Chances opens the card?
No.
No?
0.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You don't get people hyped up?
I think Bobby starts.
Goldberg out of there in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But
let him
yeah,
go home.
Bianca's going to win. Kind of similar to what I said about Raquel. I can't imagine her first meaningful title defense getting the belt taken off her
Especially
right
after you
away.
see what she said today.
No.
She said that she wants to be the first woman to pin all 4 horsewomen.
Yeah, I don't put too much into that,
She's
though.
2 for 4.
She is,
so far.
but I mean, Sasha was on a couple podcasts saying how when she becomes champion again, there's a lot she wants to do. She wants to wrestle Liv Morgan. She wants to, see Charlotte again. She wants to, welcome Becky back. So she's saying all the same things,
That's true. So I don't know.
So
Yeah.
you can't look too much into.
I mean, obviously you're supposed to be like, oh yeah, when I win.
Yeah. So you don't say too much into the out of the ring stuff, but I don't see them kind of, off the lack of build up and just her first meaningful title defense. I don't see them taking the belt off her right away.
Nah, I don't see it either. I feel like it would do a lot of harm.
A lot of harm to the character.
Yeah.
You're the EST of WWE, and then your first title defense is a loss.
Yeah. So yeah, I got Bianca though. So.
And she's doing well. It's not like she's struggling as champion.
No, she's doing well.
Yeah.
There's not a lot for her to work with, but she's doing well with what she has.
And look, I don't want it to end this way, but I could see this ending in like some sort of botch finish, not clean.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which could be why they formed that little stable or something, just to drag this out a little bit longer.
That's true.
So we'll see what happens.
Let's jump into the other one. Nikki ASH versus Rhea versus Charlotte.
Charlotte, but who cares?
Okay, I got Charlotte as well. I mean, I care a little bit just because of maybe Becky
the Becky
coming
implications.
Out. Also, like, I mean, I like all 3 of them. I have no problems with any of them. I think they might put on a surprisingly better match than we expect, but I don't know. I feel like the story's not there. The story's old. They dragged it.
Yeah,
they did too much too fast.
Yeah, I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. I said it what I had to say earlier. I like Charlotte. Charlotte's the greatest women's wrestler of all time. I think she wins. I think she finally gets a meaningful title run.
Yeah,
and I don't care if her meaningful title run is welcoming Becky back and then losing in like 4 months. Yeah. That's fine. That's fine with me. I don't care. But, like, let her hold the belt for more than a week.
Yeah, all right. That's fair. All right. The 2 big ones. Bobby Lashley and Goldberg. Bobby Lashley should win. I am terrified.
No, there's nothing to be worried about.
I am so concerned.
There's nothing to be worried about.
You say this with too much confidence.
No, because I was worried as well, and then I watched Raw.
I did the opposite. I wasn't worried, and then I watched Raw.
I saw how bad Goldberg's spear was. I was like,
they don't care.
They care. There's
they
way.
don't.
There's no way.
They do not care. Also, Goldberg literally almost ruined the Fiend just because he wanted to. Just because he said, hey, I can't lose this.
Yeah.
The good guy has to win.
And that's fine. That's not Bobby Lashley.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? That's not Bobby Lashley.
I know Bobby Lashley isn't the same kind of monster.
This is the almighty Bobby Lashley.
I am hoping that they let Bobby keep his belt. I am terrified.
I feel so bad for Bobby Lashley.
If he loses or just
no, just in general, because he got to the top of the mountain
and they screwed.
Well deserved, absolutely well deserved. He has been one of the best wrestlers for the past year and a half. Most believable champion, maybe ever. And, like, I say that, and I'm not exaggerating. You look at Bobby Lashley, and you think, like, that guy could be a world champion.
Absolutely.
So, like, he deserves to be here. And since he's gotten there, they have done nothing for him.
Yes, I agree.
They have done nothing for him. And you know who did the most for him? Kofi.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kofi doing a job.
I mean,
saved Bobby's title reign.
Drew getting passed out in Mania did a lot for Bobby.
No. Drew getting him the belt and like retaining at Mania, that's big. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No, Drew did a good job, but Kofi saved this title reign.
Yeah, I believe he did as well.
Because if that match would have even been close, I would have been so out on Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I would have been like, yeah, Goldberg's winning 100%.
I'm a little concerned, but I really hope that they do the right thing.
I think that we get a big surprise here. I think this is the return match for somebody. I think Lashley wins and we get somebody to come out.
Okay.
And look, I have no reason to think Brock Lesnar's back.
No.
I have no reason to think that, but I really hope WWE pulls something out of their hat.
Yeah, that'd be tremendous if they could do that. They could pull something off.
And then look, you're building now to a Survivor Series or
what are your big four?
That has Drew, not Drew, Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, and all of the rumors in the world are The Rock and Roman Reigns.
That would be a hell of a card.
Now you're building to another must-see. And this goes to, what I said earlier to open the show is, like, we're getting to that point where it's going to be a war. Like, Rampage is here to stay. That's an hour of extra TV. Dynamite is a good show week in and week out. WWE needs to deliver.
Yeah.
And
we're getting into war territory.
Yeah, and if you want to deliver, you're going to deliver with Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley and The Rock versus Roman Reigns.
Yeah. That's the thing, too. That's what's super interesting that you said that. Is if AEW does decide to throw that first punch, WWE would drop a nuke if they did that.
If they pull CM Punk out tomorrow night, the day before the biggest event of WWE's year, WWE's got something. They have to.
They have to at least have something ready.
They have to have something planned just in case, because there's no way they don't know. Like, the rumors are circulating. They definitely have somebody in the locker room who's still friends with. Yeah.
It's almost. I'm pretty confident he's coming back. Yeah. Somewhere he's coming back.
Yeah.
So if you're WWE and you know he's not coming to you,
you get ready.
You know where he's going.
Yeah, he's coming back. He's absolutely coming back. There's not a doubt in my mind. He did the Instagram story of the year he signed with WWE, the year he retired, and now.
No, it was the year he re-signed, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. No, that's what it was. It was the year he signed, the year he re-signed, and then
this year.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Maybe that's their punch. Maybe WWE throws the punch.
If WWE signed CM Punk back, and
that's a huge blow.
He came out for, and I don't think he comes out for Lashley. It doesn't really make sense. But if he came out for Cena and Reigns, they would shut down AEW.
Here's the problem, and here's why I don't think they did.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Because AEW, sorry to the fans, is run by kind of spiteful assholes.
They're ran by Mars.
So they would be like, well, we didn't get CM Punk. Yeah. They would just ruin WWE's thing. Unless he signs on Saturday.
Yeah, unless he's holding out.
And he's like, I haven't signed anywhere yet.
Decided.
I haven't decided. And then he signs Saturday.
Oh, man.
That's the only way I can see it happening, which is something he'd do.
I know CM Punk says he's open to the conversation, and I know WWE would throw the bag at him.
I think they would.
Man, we just talked ourselves into CM Punk being back in WWE, and I promise it didn't happen.
Let's move on to the big one.
So
the finale.
Lashley over Goldberg. Lock it in.
Me too. I'm hopeful. I'm scared, but I'm hopeful.
The big one.
John Cena versus Roman Reigns. Has to be Roman.
Two generational guys. And I was listening to another WWE podcast that made this comparison. It's your generational guys going against each other. He said, this is The Rock versus Hogan.
Yeah, it is.
And, like, Cena is, and he said this too, but Cena is far better than Hogan when they faced off.
Absolutely.
So this match is going to deliver.
Yes, it is.
The hype is there. This is one of the best built matches, best built feuds WWE's had in, I don't know.
A long time.
A long time. Like, of this decade. This would probably be a top 10 feud of the decade. And I don't mean 2020 to 2020, I mean from
the
2011.
Last 10 years.
Yeah, 2011 forward. I'm excited.
It has to be Roman.
It has to be Roman. And
that's all I have. It has to be Roman.
It goes, look, it has to be Roman. If you make Cena come back and dethrone your tribal chief, do you ever move forward?
No, Roman's done.
Does Roman ever regain that traction, or is he
Absolutely
always,
not.
you're not as good as the guy from before?
That's the problem. That's why you can't have Cena win. Because then you ruin this whole generation.
So Cena deserves number 17.
Just not right
now.
now.
He doesn't need to beat Roman for it. If he said he's here for the long haul, no matter what, like he said.
You know what? He doesn't even have to be here a year.
Yeah.
You have to be. You don't even have to be here.
No.
You have to be willing to wrestle within the next 365 days, and they can get you 17.
Yeah.
Right now, you cannot take away Roman Reigns' momentum.
Yeah.
You cannot bury the whole generation of wrestling.
Yeah.
And you know what? Is Roman the best of this generation? Maybe not. Might be Seth. Maybe not.
But was Cena the best guy of his generation?
Maybe not,
no,
but he was
the
guy
the face of the generation. Yes. Yeah.
So we'll use since Roman is the
face of the generation.
Speaking for the generation. You can't kill the whole generation like that.
No, you just can't.
Especially when Roman's in his prime.
And my concern is that they would give it to Cena, 17, and then have Roman do the climb back and win again. but he's not a face.
Doesn't matter.
The climb back to beat Cena doesn't work as a heel.
No, it doesn't.
You got squashed by the face, by the generational guy.
Yeah.
And look, Cena did a great job cutting that promo of convincing me he could get it done in just 3 seconds.
Yeah.
But Roman Reigns the WWE needs Roman Reigns to win this.
Yeah, they do. It's kind of a shame because I kind of wish that promo happened tomorrow, because that would have been a great way to leave it off. Was that
I'm sure that they will deliver tomorrow.
100%. I'm not doubting them in any way.
Right.
But I feel like that would have been such a compelling leading into Saturday. Was I don't need to beat you. I don't need to definitively beat you.
Yeah.
I need 3 seconds.
And
then walk out, and that's it. And then you wait 24 hours.
Yeah.
That would have been crazy.
And then let's hope that they keep them apart tomorrow. That
they
don't botch this and get
they
physical.
I don't think they do.
I don't think
for a lot of reasons.
Cena hasn't been physical on live TV.
I think that's
a big one too. They're gonna keep that for SummerSlam. Must see.
So,
look, man, I don't know. And this is me again. My thing here is somebody's got to come out.
Somebody has to win. That's just crazy. Somebody has to win.
I think, and you guys can call me crazy. You can tell me it's not gonna happen. The Fiend is going to be involved in this match. The Fiend is going to be involved in this match, man.
Oh my God.
I can't help it. I can't get over it. My fandom, my Mark senses are tingling. I need this. I need this.
Guys, he's not. Zach's crazy.
I probably am crazy. And just like CM Punk didn't sign with WWE, Bray Wyatt's probably not coming back out tomorrow, but I need it.
Nope.
The story's there.
No, I guess it's kind of there.
He lost to Roman. He had control over Cena in the Firefly Funhouse. The story is there. Probably...
It's not happening.
But anyway, let's just run down real quick summary. Starting with NXT, we have Ilya over Walter. Samoa Joe over Karrion Kross. Kyle O'Reilly over Adam Cole. Raquel over Dakota. Cameron Grimes over LA Knight. SummerSlam, we got Bliss over Doudrop, but who cares?
Is it against Doudrop? No, it's against Eva Marie.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Doudrop.
I'm pretty sure it's Eva Marie.
That's how little I care.
It also doesn't matter.
Bliss is winning.
Bliss, but it's Eva Marie.
Yeah. Then we have Priest over Sheamus, debatable. Then we have Bianca over Sasha, the Usos over the Mysterios, Drew over Jinder, Charlotte coming out on top with a triple threat, Seth over Edge, RK Bro walking away as tag champions, Lashley over Goldberg, hopefully get somebody else out there.
If Goldberg wins, tune into Twitter and Instagram, because I will be irate all over there.
If Goldberg wins, I'll do the next podcast in a Goldberg shirt. I'll buy a Goldberg shirt.
What if you shave your head like Goldberg?
No, I'm not going to do that. Still got to go to work. And then Reigns, the Tribal Chief,
beats John Cena
over John Cena. The battle of the generations.
Yep. All right. I know we're getting a little long here. Let's do our quick
match
what to watch beforehand, and then we'll let you guys go.
What do you got?
I got 2008 SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Edge.
Yep.
You player are going one-on-one with The Undertaker. Hell in a Cell.
Long.
Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. That's
awesome match. Give it a watch. Great. Get the juices flowing for SummerSlam.
Yeah. I got 2013 SummerSlam.
A good one. A good SummerSlam.
John Cena, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton cash in.
Yep.
It gives the rise to the Yes movement, to the Daniel Bryan historic run, where he beats everybody under the sun at WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. Give it a watch, and then you can go ahead.
It's also the beginning of the Authority.
Yeah, you can
go
ahead.
The real beginning of the Authority.
Yeah. Go ahead, and if you're in the mood to watch, binge some wrestling, some good storytelling, you can watch from SummerSlam 2013 straight through WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That'll get you.
Yep.
Get you hyped, get you in the mood. We had another one that got suggested to us on Instagram. Make sure you guys pay attention and stay tuned. Seth Rollins and John Cena.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What year was that? 2017? 16?
Yeah. Yeah. One of those.
It was the U.S. title versus WWE.
It was white
title
pants.
Match.
White pants. Seth.
Yeah. It was a White Ranger Seth. So that's another great one.
Definitely give that a watch as well.
Yeah.
They tear the house down.
Yes, they do.
If that's any indication of how these two guys are going to perform this weekend, we're going to have two great matches.
Two great matches.
Yeah.
Check out the socials.
Yep.
Instagram, Twitter, resttold_pod. We're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, resttold_pod.
Yep.
Yeah. Like and subscribe down below.
Yeah, tell
Leave
a friend,
comment.
guys.
Tell one friend.
Just do us a favor and tell a friend, man. We are, we're trying to grow. We're trying to keep getting together weekly and provide some content for you guys.
Yeah.
Give us a shout out. Tell us what you liked, what you didn't like. Give us some feedback. But at the end of the day, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate the support. Peace.
Peace.